Good morning and welcome to Has God Heard From You today? And you all, I'm still excited from the last two interviews. We are here. You know him, so you know I will be laughing. This is Pastor Dr. Taylor. Welcome, welcome. And we're going to have his wife come on. They're dressed like they look so cute, if I must say. Welcome, Dr. Taylor. And I want to tell them what you're here for and thank you for agreeing to come and talk with us about starting your new year off. Everybody says they're going to do these diets at the beginning of the year. So welcome, Pastor Taylor, Dr. Taylor.
Thank you.
And tell them where your business is.
North Market Chiropractic Clinic, 1850 Nelson Street, right here in Shreveport, Louisiana.
And if you want to go on the website, you're looking at the website below, you can go on and you'll see you did the marriage thing about you and your wife.
Yes, ma'am.
And Karen.
Yes.
And then you did, I did your business and you did the health.
Yes.
So I asked him to come on and talk about starting the year off if you wanted to do it the way that he does it. Now I've gone to some of his health seminars and I went to one recently, 2 months ago?
Yes.
At a church, and one of the things he was talking about giving up, if he could only see my face, because I'm going like, not going to happen. So I'm saying he's going to give you some good advice. As always, he's a doctor, but you check with your doctor to follow it. But we're starting with you.
Yes, and shall we begin with just a healthy lifestyle, or if someone wants to lose weight? What direction should we take this?
Whatever the Lord puts on your heart. Remember, I told you, I don't. It's you.
Yes, thank you.
It's you.
Are you always this kind of
I am.
during interviews?
I am. I try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was just sharing with the previous guest that was here that when you look at the data, we've shared this before from the Centers for Disease Control. The average Hispanic woman lives to about 83. Mm-hmm. The average white woman lives to about 81. Mm-hmm. Average black woman, 74, 75. Mm-hmm. Average white man, 74, 75. But the black man picks up the rear end. Mm-hmm. He dies at about age 67, nationally. Mm-hmm. But here in the South, he dies at about age 63.
Wow. Okay.
Since we were last here, there's been more research that's unfolding, so it's amazing. I like to call you Miss Deborah.
Deborah is fine, but Deborah's fine.
Okay. Deborah's amazing. Even as we're sitting here talking, 80% of the citizens walking around in Shreveport, in Bossier, are walking around with blood clots in their body, in their circulatory tree, their arteries, and their vein. It doesn't matter whether they're a medical doctor, foot doctor, an ears, eyes, nose, and throat doctor, pimp, hoochie mama, thug, liar, ratchet. Okay. Yeah. Walking around with blood clots, and it's due to our lifestyle. Mm-hmm. By age 40, 1 out of 2 Americans have been diagnosed with high blood pressure, including physicians. Quiz question for you. Can I ask you a question? What age do you think the average medical doctor dies? The average doctor dies?
Well, I would say like 75, 80.
Very good. Close. How about 59?
Wow.
Because we have to practice what we
preach.
Practice what we preach. And unfortunately, in our medical schools, physicians get very little training in nutrition and lifestyle. The focus is on diagnosing conditions and treating them with medication and surgery. And we need those things.
Right.
But the very lives of the physician themselves and the nurses and healthcare providers, often they're as sick as their patients.
Wow.
So starting the new year off, I would like, if I could speak to And we are speaking to a very large audience at this time.
And amen.
Yes.
Amen.
You received that?
Yes, I did.
If I could stand on the highest building here in Shreveport, and like a rotisserie turning around with a megaphone, with technology you don't need megaphones now, and I could do a shout out, the first thing that I would advise our listening audience is to just start with 4 to 6 bottles of this liquid, clear elixir of life called water. Few people know that Coca-Cola sells more bottles of water than Coca-Cola. Yes.
Okay.
And speaking I like to advise patients or just individuals, when you first wake up in the morning, have one of these by your nightstand.
Okay.
And flush your kidneys when you first wake up in the morning.
Yes.
So many people say, I don't like what?
Right.
I don't like water.
Right.
It's only because we've been used to drinking, and I say it on TV, Pepsi.
Yeah.
Mr. Pig.
Say it a little louder.
Yeah.
I think they heard it. Say it a little louder. Yeah.
Reminds me of James Brown back in the day. They say it
loud. Yeah.
But just water. Now, we don't have a display right here, but I want to share with you a mnemonic. That's just actually an acronym. An acronym is like USA, NAACP, HUD. Well, a little acronym I'd like to share is called New Start.
New Start.
We're getting ready to start the new year, and so invariably we could have a new start. And so the N stands for nutrition. I would really like to see the citizens of Shreveport and Bossier just make a few changes in just the way they eat.
Come on.
2 out of 3 people die, it is estimated by research, just by the way we eat. So instead of frying the chicken with the skin on it, which we all like now,
Of course.
I'm a vegan. I'm 54 years old, and I've been a vegetarian since I was 17.
Wow.
Chicken still smells good.
Yeah.
I wish chicken grew on a plant.
So you haven't eaten...
I wish pork chops grew on a tree.
So you haven't eaten meat since you were 17 years old?
When I was 17, from age 17 till around the age of 20, I ate no meat. I left school and had to move back to Kansas for a season or for a minute, and I ate meat, just a little fish and a little chicken. But if you could imagine on a plate, from the 12 o'clock, if it was like a clock, from the 12 o'clock position on the plate all the way over till about the 10 o'clock position, I ate plant-based foods. But because I was broke, see, Miss
Okay.
Deborah, you wouldn't know anything about being broke.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, come on. I'm doing TV. Okay, come on.
I was broke, so I ate what my grandmother fixed. But see, my grandmother lived to age 96.
Wow.
The longest living on our side of the family, the Taylor family. And one of the things my grandmother would do, she would only drink spring water. She would take her skin off the chicken. She would bake, boil, or broil the chicken. But she ate very little meat. She ate greens. You're probably too young to remember Fantasia, collard greens and cornbread.
No.
Okay. Well, that's what grandmother ate. She ate collard greens, cabbage greens, and turnip greens, and she ate from the garden, and she didn't mind working with her hands. Just a very active crocheting has cardiovascular benefit. I'll tell you something else. Forgiving your neighbor for the wrong that's been done to us has a medicinal effect on the blood pressure.
Carrying stress around.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, my bad.
No. We're just enjoying. I'm listening. We're going to take a break. How many bottles of water did you say?
A minimum of 4, and the larger our body mass is, we might need 6.
We'll be right back. Go get some water. We'll be right back. Wow. Welcome back, and we're going to get right back with Pastor Dr. Taylor.
Yes.
Giving us some good advice on starting off the new year.
I was instructed I need to speak up, so you can do that if I need to up the ante.
Yeah, I'm just so into what you're saying and waiting for you to tell me that thing that I really liked that you said at this church seminar that I went to when you were holding up a block, holding up cheese. I'm like, does he really think we were about to give up cheese?
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah, but come on, this is good.
Well, we know now that when you eat cheese, which comes from a cow, cheese raises two factors in the blood. One is called IGF.
Pastor Taylor, you don't really have to talk about cheese if you want
okay,
to.
okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's up to you. Yeah.
Eating cheese is like you having an affair with your next door neighbor's husband. He might be good to you, but he's not good.
It's not good
for you.
That bad.
That's right. That's right.
That bad.
That's right.
That bad.
Cheese raises, and meat, animal foods, period, raise two things in your bloodstream. One is called IGL. That's insulin growth factor 1. When you consume the animal products, it increases this product in your bloodstream. And IGF levels, elevated IGF levels, have been linked with cancer. Another element is what is called leptin. Now, insulin is your hunger hormone. It lets you know when I'm hungry.
Right,
okay?
right.
Leptin lets us know when that's enough. Our problem is sometimes we have these levels of leptin circulating in our bloodstream, but we're not listening. Because as human beings, sometimes we get stuck on stupid, sliding on silly. And what happens, we just keep eating. We graze all throughout the day. And so the average woman gains about 1 to 3 pounds every year starting at age 21. So by the time she's 51, she's gained about 30 pounds, up to 90 pounds. And so these increased levels of this hormone that turns off your hunger called leptin, those elevated levels of leptin in your bloodstream along with IGF-1 increases one's risk of cancer. And so when we look at populations where there's very little meat in the diet and more fruit, what's your favorite fruit?
Bananas.
Bananas, high in potassium, high in lignin, which is a fiber, and high in a whole lot of other stuff. The tomato has more than 10,000 unnamed, undiscovered elements in it that help to protect our bodies from the ravages of disease. Then there's your grains, your whole wheat, there's this gluten-free kick in America, and that's about all it is. You know what I would like to do with that gluten kick is kick it. That's right. That's kick it.
Yeah.
Now I'm on TV, so I'm going to be nice with the way that I say it. But I would like to kick it.
And you all, we are in here, and it's so quiet because we are really just listening, and I'm just loving it. Come on. I mean, the information that you give, Pastor Taylor. And I say pastor first because,
yes,
hey, the highest calling to me.
I've been called worse.
But listening to you talk about, and you've been a vegetarian how long?
I'm 54, been a vegetarian since I was 17, about 37 years.
Yeah. And so, I mean,
I'm on no medication. I'm on no medication. My lovely wife will be coming on the set in just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm 54, she's 53. Yeah. Was I not supposed to tell you age? Oops.
She doesn't look it, so she's okay.
We're on no medication. When we first got married 7 years ago, she was, I like to not call it she was overweight, she just had more blessings.
Okay. Yeah.
She had more blessings. And so 2 weeks after we were married, by walking in the sunlight, the ultraviolet light from the sun trapped by the oil in the cell membranes of your skin helps to lower your blood pressure. So 2 weeks after we were married, her blood pressure normalized.
Wow.
And then even went lower.
Wow.
And she went on to lose an additional approximately 40-something pounds, and she's only 4'9".
Yeah.
And So that, and got off all of her medication.
Wow.
But something else I'd recommend is not only water, but sunlight. Not too much. The face and the neck and the hands were designed to be exposed to the sun. The extremities and the legs were not designed to be exposed to the harmful rays of the sun. So what is the first thing a dermatologist or an internist takes their patients off of when they have skin cancer? The first thing that they not take them off of, they have them to clothe themselves.
Okay.
So whether it's 10 degrees outdoors and 90 degrees outdoors, I'm usually found covering myself. The nomads near the equator, where sometimes the temperature gets above 120, 125 degrees Fahrenheit, they wear clothing to protect themselves from the harmful rays of the sun. Another thing is self-control at the table.
Yes.
Few of us have the self-control,
Right.
and the reason we don't have the self-control because there's a little part of your brain called the hypothalamus. It controls your sexual urges. It also controls your appetite and our hunger. And when we have foods, the standard American diet is standard American diet, SAD. The average diet is very sad. So all of the hidden fat, all of the sugar, and all of the excess sodium, when those are combined and circulates in the bloodstream, it stimulates the hypothalamus, and we want to just gorge ourselves.
Right.
Average American gains 7 to 10 pounds between Thanksgiving and Christmas,
And Christmas.
because the food is good.
I have a question for you, and then I want you to go back to what
Sure.
you're talking about. Desserts. And those who know me know why I'm asking this question. So, being vegetarian,
Yes, ma'am.
what do you substitute for desserts? Or do you have desserts?
I love sweet. I believe the Creator created us all with the sweet too. Our problem is we are not temperate.
Right.
We don't exercise self-control.
Right. So you do eat desserts
Yes.
and stuff.
Now, my wife and I are what we call certified raw food chefs. That means, and she's more skilled than I am. I got the certificate, but she really has the skill.
Yeah.
By the way, I do most of the cooking, but she prepares the raw dishes.
Yeah.
We can take just the simple product like cashews and honey and agave nectar and fruit. We make a banana ice cream. You must come over to our home. We make a banana ice cream. When you blend bananas up in a food processor, not a blender. You put it in a blender, it tastes like a banana smoothie.
Right.
But if you put frozen bananas in a food processor, when it whizzes it, mixing it with the air, it tastes like ice cream. You do not even really detect the taste of the banana, because in 1 pint of ice cream is the equivalent level of cholesterol as in 24 strips of bacon. So when we're sitting there eating all of that ice cream, we're just killing our arteries, killing our veins, killing our hearts, killing our brain. It tastes good to us, but it's not good for us.
So when I was talking about desserts, I was talking about like chocolate cake and you're talking about cashews. So I'm saying, I'm talking about. So
Well, the thing you
so
want to
keep
do.
going. I'm just asking. Hey, I know.
It's
I'm
a
saying
break
I know they're thinking the same thing. We're talking,
Oh,
but
okay.
you're talking. So that's
As you
your
young-
dessert.
As you young folk would say, my bad.
Anyway, I'm
Eat
saying I know.
smaller
Yeah.
portions of your dessert, and there's some dessert. A slice of my favorite, my flesh. The Bible speaks of our flesh. In the flesh, if I were to eat it, and I don't, but if I were to eat, my favorite dessert is German chocolate cake. About 450 plus calories in 1 medium serving of German chocolate cake. And it could be anywhere upwards of 50, 60, 70% fat. And I tell people the fat you eat is the fat you wear. Now, the way the lovely Jesus created us, we have certain muscles that run vertically and certain muscles that run across, okay? The problem is, as we get older, especially these muscles, even on slim people like me, these muscles that go across this way horizontally get weak. And when they get weak,
They flab.
they flab, even on thin people. And you ask bodybuilders. Yeah, the slimmest female get a little pudge here. You feel me?
Oh my goodness, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna bring Karen on with us. We'll be right back. I know you all glad I asked about that chocolate cake. Okay, we'll be right back. Welcome back, and we are joined with Miss Karen Taylor, his lovely wife, and she was on the break. I'm talking about desserts, and tell them, what did you say?
Okay, well, first of all, I love to eat. As a vegetarian, when you make that decision, God gives you alternatives. And vegetarians and vegans, we indulge in dessert as well. So, for instance, if you like sweet potato pie, there are vegan dishes that you can Google the internet for vegan desserts, vegan, all kinds of dishes and desserts that you can Google. And also tofu, which is a product that's made from the soybean. And by the way, soy is not bad for you, just the soy isolates. Don't fall into the hype about soy. But anyway, you could take tofu and make all kinds of desserts with tofu. Just Google it online. You can make, we make a tofu dressing because we don't use regular dressing. My husband makes tofu dressing. I make, since I specialize in raw, I make dressings made from cashews. Cashews, walnuts, almonds. I make my own. Zucchini squash. When I want to do raw. Sometimes I go on a raw fast. I also.
And how about just, the simplest dessert is just developing the palate for what? Fruit.
Yeah.
It's already sweet.
It's already sweet. Jesus had a sweet tooth, y'all. Hey, and that's one of my favorite things I like to eat, fruit. I can eat fruit all day long.
So the potato pie is not made out of the regular sweet potato pie?
I made a raw potato pie. I made a raw sweet potato pie made with sweet potatoes that you can actually eat raw. You throw it in your blender along with all the other spices that you put in a regular sweet potato pie. You're just not putting dairy products in it. And so I make my own nut milks out of cashew, out of walnuts, out of pecans. It's so easy. Take a cup full of nuts, 3 cups full of water, throw it in your blender, and you can get like a nut milk bag to drain it or squeeze it out. You have your own nut milks. And it's good.
And you were telling me something that takes the place of chocolate. Do you remember that?
Oh, it's called carob, C-A-R-O-B. Carob is a plant. It's like a...
Comes from the locust plant.
Locust plant. It mimics the taste of chocolate without the caffeine. Now I will admit I like chocolate. I still eat some myself, but when I'm really, really trying to be good, I use carob. I just can't use a whole lot of carob because it upsets my stomach. So I'll make some dishes, and I do smoothies. I do green smoothies, fruit smoothies. And I have the same appetite that I had when I was eating animal food. It's just that God gave me alternatives, and they're really good. You just got to have an open
a mind
mind
for it. Yeah. I tell you what, we only have maybe 1 minute. So Dr. Taylor, Pastor Taylor, can you sum this up in 1 minute, January, and I probably will be airing you around January.
Yes, ma'am.
And we'll be, for those who want to start the vegan diet or just good health.
You don't even have to be vegan. You don't even have to be vegetarian. It's really as simple as this. We all basically know what to do. Mm-hmm. We just don't do it. Mm-hmm. So just
look in the intel.
Just do it. Isn't that the Nike commercial slogan? That's the mantra.
Do it.
Just do it. You already know what to do. Just do it.
Mm-hmm. And the water, which is so important.
4 to 6 bottles of water per day keeps the doctor away.
And the walking.
Oh yes, walking. Try to get in. If you're not much of a walker, I didn't used to be, but try to get in at least 30 to 45 minutes a day. That's 2 miles. I do 3 to 6. Every day, just about. And it changes everything. It changes your whole perspective on everything. And also, if you say it's boring, spend time with God while you're walking, talking to Him. Exactly. He reveals so much to me when I'm walking by myself. I love it.
I know that to be true. Mm-hmm. Pastor, Dr. Taylor, your wife Karen, again, thank you all.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
We will be having them back to share some good health tips, whether we follow them or not. Get your water. Notice she said talking to God. Has God heard from you today? We'll see you next week. Thank you all. Thank you for tuning in to Has God Heard From You Today. We ask that you tune into us each Wednesday for inspiring testimonies and more. We're not here to tell you that going through is easy. We're here to tell you that if you believe in God and you have accepted Jesus as your personal Savior, then you have His word, you have His promise that He will never leave you nor forsake you. Has God heard from you today?
Yes, God has heard from me today.
If you would like to share your testimony or advertise your business or an upcoming event on this program, please call 318-222-2954. Also, visit our website at www.hasgodheardfromyoutoday.org.